welcome to the GoreMileCircus. GoreMileCircus is a podcast from 4 Mile Circus, a media services company in Brooklyn, New York. My name is Sean Mannion. I am a host of this podcast.
I am another host. My name is Nicole.
Oh, I see.
I'm not a ghost.
Are you?
I'm not the ghost host.
You're not the ghost host?
Not haunting your apartment.
Yeah. Aren't you?
It's coming.
It's a little bit. You don't have to be a ghost to haunt. This is our Halloween special. It's special, and it happens to be the day before Halloween. So special.
Yes.
Yeah.
Special because normally we have a guest on the podcast who we talk to, but this time you're stuck listening to just the two of us. So if that's not what you signed up for, you should just turn this off right now.
Yeah, that's a good plan. That's a good plan. Let's just tell people to turn off the podcast.
Turn it off, unsubscribe, delete your reviews, do not tell a friend.
Yes.
Do not share the link.
Please to God, don't do anything. If you do anything today, make sure it's nothing.
A nap is good. I recommend
naps. Good. I need a nap.
But since it's Halloween, we're gonna talk about Halloween viewing recommendations, right? Some of the stuff that we've been cooking up that might be appropriate for Halloween, as well as stuff by previous guests of the show, and some people we don't know but would like to, and some people maybe we don't want to know.
I mean, that sounds pretty scary. I don't know if I can handle that.
Okay, podcast is over. That's what we were gonna talk about.
Can I have candy instead?
We gave away all the candy. We gave away all the candy at our Friday the 13th event.
Fuck.
We had a great Friday the 13th event. We showed the Axe Wound mixtape, Volume 1, and raised some money for the Axe Wound Film Festival, which is happening next month in Brattleboro, Vermont.
I prefer Volume 2.
November 17th through 19th, correct, Sean?
Yes, that's when Axe Wound is.
And you should go, because our short film Mare is going to be screening there.
I am going.
Not you, Sean, our listeners.
Oh,
our listeners should go.
I am going, Nicole.
Yes, we just made plans for booking. We just made plans
because we're going.
We're going.
We're doing a thing.
We're doing a thing. It'll be a surprise. It'll come up on a future episode of the podcast. But
okay. But we're doing a thing.
Also, we should tell people some other places they can see Mare. By the time this podcast is out, the Geek Short Film Festival, Sick Chicks Film Festival, and IndieWorks Halloween special screening will all have passed. But those are all festivals.
Missed it.
Check them out next year. And
yes, they should go next year.
But Mare will also be screening at the Zed Fest in, I believe, Hollywood, California. Fancy. And the Portland Extreme Film Festival in Portland.
Which Portland?
Oregon.
I hear that's a good Portland.
The other Portland's nice, too. The other Portland is the first place I ever played a show when I tried to do music.
That sounds awful.
There's some music playing outside that our listeners might hear also. Do you hear that?
Yeah, they can't hear that right now.
Okay, cool. Well, I can. It's very beautiful. I'm very sorry you can't hear it. So, Halloween.
Halloween's pretty great, Nicole.
I like Halloween.
I like candy.
I like ghosts.
I don't like ghosts.
I like skeletons. Jack-o'-lanterns.
I have a skeleton. Does that help?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Skulls.
I think I have
all sorts of things. Bats, vampires, ghouls in general.
What about unicorns?
Yeah, I like those too.
Okay.
Especially Halloween unicorns, because those are the kind that kill people and make ghosts. They're like ghost factories. Their horns like impale.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, what do you think people should watch this Halloween, Sean Mannion?
Oh, man.
They could watch the film Halloween.
They've seen it.
If you have not seen it, I recommend it.
Yeah. Yeah, watch that one. And then just skip to, like, H2O.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mostly because, Jamie Lee's back.
Exactly.
But also because, LL Cool J.
That's not the one LL Cool J's in.
Yeah, it is. I know, because it's like the only other one I like, and it's because he's in it. It's LL Cool J and Josh Hartnett and Jamie Lee Curtis.
Isn't Michelle Williams in that too?
Probably, yeah. I keep forgetting who the girl is.
I can't believe I forgot LL Cool J was in Halloween.
He's the security guard.
That's right.
He's the security guy, and you're just like, hey, it's LL Cool J.
That's right.
He's I'm not gonna say he's like a good actor, because I don't think he is. But I don't think he's bad. But I also enjoy seeing him in things. I think he brings a certain something.
Je ne sais quoi.
Exactly. Have you ever seen what is it called? Deep Blue Sea?
No.
Yeah, that one's all right.
Sharks.
Yeah, it's sharks. Genetically modified sharks. He plays the cook in that movie.
Does he cook sharks?
No, he's the cook for the thing, and he's just there. He's there, and he's got the like. Well, why are we dealing with this stuff? I don't want to deal with this stuff. This is ridiculous. This is not my job. That's mostly his position in horror movies. It's just like he has another job. I think that's what I like about him in those movies, is that he's just a guy who gets caught up in this stuff while he's just trying to do his job. And all these white people are just like, I don't know, they're getting too involved in some stuff and it's ruining his day.
So it's like real life.
Pretty much, yeah. I feel like LL Cool J in horror movies, in those two movies at least, is just like the best reflection of life in America. He's just trying to do his job and live his life. And a bunch of white people got some bullshit going on.
White nonsense gets in the way.
It's true. I think that's what it is. So anyway, that's what you should watch. You should just skip the original Halloween. Who cares? Just go watch H2O. Doesn't matter. You get the recap in the beginning.
Kind of makes me think of the current season of American Horror Story, which you are not watching.
I haven't watched like the last 3 seasons.
I mean, I don't blame you, but
I got bored during the Freak Show one. Like after like 3 episodes, I was like, I don't care.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I think you would not be bored by the current season. I'm not exactly saying the current season is good. I am saying that it's interesting and it's more focused than... I didn't watch Roanoke. I didn't watch any of it, but
I didn't watch that one either.
It's certainly more focused than either Hotel or Freak Show, which both kind of started strong for me, but
yeah,
then got like I didn't care at a certain point, and I still care very much about the current season. Not about the characters in it, who are all pretty terrible, but you know, it's about America today. It's called American Horror Story Cult, but it could be American Horror Story White Nonsense, because that's basically what it is.
I mean, that's like every season of American Horror Story. And Coven is pretty much American Horror Story White Nonsense.
Sure, but I mean, I feel like in this one, it's more directly related to the actual horror story of white nonsense that we are all living right now.
Fair.
And
honestly, a lot of shows could just be white nonsense.
Well, yeah. I mean, look at who's making.
I've heard that Will and Grace came back.
Yeah, I haven't watched it.
That show is pretty much just like that show is just that. I'm saying this being a person who mostly writes white nonsense. Like, that's most of my films. Like, it's terrible. I'm a terrible writer. People shouldn't watch things that I made. Don't watch anything that we put out there. No, wait, no, that's not what I'm supposed to say.
Like we said before, unsubscribe to the show. Stop listening right now. We have nothing of worth to share. Who does have something of worth to share? What are some horror movies that you recommend? I can recommend some if you cannot.
I quite like Dolly Deadly by Heidi Moore,
friend of the show.
Yes, who we talked to on the show, and
what's that movie about, Sean?
Well, it's about this kid who likes dolls, and people pick on him for liking dolls, and he's a very sweet kid until they just push him too far, and then he just kills everybody.
Well, thanks for,
he kills everyone. I'd even given away the end. Or like all the delightful like song and dance routines.
That's true. There are some good
there's some solid song and dance stuff in that. And if you're gonna get me to like your movie, even if it's kind of a shitty movie, and this is not, this is a good movie. But even if it's kind of a shitty movie, you put a decent song and dance routine in there, and I'll be like, well, at least it's got that.
And where can people watch this movie?
I believe they can watch it on Amazon Prime.
Yeah, I think it's available a lot of places, but inclusive of Amazon Prime, so you can stream it for free. It's a lovely feature film.
You can buy it on. I think you can buy it on VHS.
You can.
From our friend.
At Magnetic Magic Rentals, where you used to be able to get the 4 Mile Circus Grindhouse double feature until it sold out.
Exactly. We bought all the copies. Wait, no, we didn't. We already had some.
The Church of Scientology bought all the copies, and that's why we're on the New York Times bestsellers list for VHS tapes, which is a thing.
We should be.
But yeah, I agree that Dolly Deadly is a good choice. Another good choice that's available on Amazon Prime would be Summit.
Summit by our friend Ted Koppel. It's not Ted?
That's not even a Halloween themed
Mistake?
absurdist aside. Mistake? Yeah, I confuse Christina Rhea and Ted Koppel quite frequently.
Why not?
They're just, both so...
I trust Christina.
Exactly. They're
Do you-
responsible, comforting, make
I
me
honestly
feel like...
can't remember which one Ted Koppel is.
I don't fucking
I don't know
know.
why his name came into my head.
But-
Who is Ted Koppel? Oh, he's
a newsman.
He's a news. Is he dead?
I
think
don't
he's
fucking
dead.
know.
I think
I
he's
don't-
dead. That's why
no
it's
offense,
it's
but-
Halloween related. Ted Koppel's dead.
Zombie Ted Koppel is who we
Anyway,
confuse.
it's by Christina Rhea, who's like half of the episodes of this podcast.
Yeah, and so if you'd like to actually see some of her work rather than just hear her talking about it, you can see it on Amazon. It's a kind of twist on a cabin in the woods type story.
Yes,
And
it's more of a house
it has a killer ending. All puns intended.
because somebody gets killed.
I'm not going to say why.
I mean, it's a horror movie, so somebody's probably gonna die, right?
I'm not going to say. I'm just saying the end is very good.
Look, I'm just saying that this movie has been out for like 2 years, and if people haven't seen it, that's not my fault. I can't spoil it for them if they haven't gone off their ass and gone and seen it.
Why don't you keep hitting the table the microphones are on?
Well, I
Since that's
can't
your
hear it
favorite
when
thing.
I do it.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not really hearing it. It's coming in pretty quiet.
Huh.
It
Okay.
would be louder if I did that.
Okay. I take back my chastisement. I chastised you.
Chastity, something I don't know.
I'm not. That sounds weird. I'm not talking about
That
your
actually reminds
chastity.
me. Back in the '90s, there was a vampire comic called Chastity. It was a really weird. Like, it was not a good comic. It was like a weird time back in the '90s.
I remember somebody named Chastity who was like a sexy lady who would like be on posters you'd buy at Spencer Gifts, but probably had some career
Yeah.
other than just being a poster model. Was that the vampire comic?
It might have been that. Yeah. She was a vampire who killed vampires, who hung around rock and roll. The only issue I ever bought happened to have Robert Plant in it, I think.
Oh, a comic, like a comic book. I thought this was something much more
Like a
interesting.
comedian?
Yes.
No, this is like a shitty
Yes.
comic book.
And I was like, is this in fiction? Is this in real life? I don't understand.
A comedian who's a vampire. No, Nicole, all comedians are vampires. It's not special.
Wah, wah. Hey, you know what? You know what some other movies I like that are streaming online are? That I recommend as Halloween viewing.
Something about a guy named Mark. No?
I really like Blood of the Tribbids,
Right.
which is a 70s art
Michael.
house.
That's who I was thinking.
Michael Epstein and
Michael
Sofia
Epstein,
Cacciolo.
yeah.
They wrote and directed
The Blood of the Tribbids.
The Blood of the Tribbids, which is a lesbian vampire 70s art house Hammer movies type very strange and specific film about the dangers of religious fundamentalism and misogyny and things like that, and also vampires and lots of nudity, lots of all kinds of nudity, lots of penises, some
You seem very
attached to
fixated
bodies,
on that
some
part.
not.
You seem very fixated on that part.
Well, I was just thinking, I don't want to blow up anybody's spot, but I think it was Amazon felt that it was a more mature title than.
Because of dicks?
Yeah. You know how it is.
Yeah, I do.
Dicks equal adult.
I keep sending, Amazon my personal videos, and they keep saying you can't put this up there.
You know what another movie that's up there, though, is? Directed by the same people.
10.
Yeah.
See,
Have
I
you
can be
watched
helpful.
that yet?
No.
You should watch that. It's a good.
I need to watch Blood of the Tribbids.
You need to watch both of them. They're both good movies.
I have like stuff going on. I
know,
gotta
you're
watch
sending-
Star Trek. Okay.
And you've got to send all those videos to Amazon that they keep rejecting.
You know
them,
what?
So
I
you have to
practice those a lot.
I'm sure you do. For those of you listening, 10 is kind of a horror movie. It's certainly Halloween appropriate. There's, killers and death and blood and shit like that. But it's also kind of a spy movie and kind of I don't want to give away twists, but it's goes somewhere that I was not expecting and is a very unique film that I have a lot of affection for. And you can watch it on Amazon Prime, and you should do that.
I'll think about it.
It would make a good double billing, perhaps, with a certain film.
With Halloween H2O.
Yeah, I mean, everything goes well
yeah.
with Halloween H2O. But if you want to spend less time watching movies, there's a movie up there that's only 23 minutes long.
Oh, I think I know this. Little Voice?
Yeah, that's it. It's called Little Voice. It was directed by...
No. That's not it. Hold on. I got this. It's
going to be so worth the wait, too, when this joke comes out.
Joke? Small talk? Is it small talk?
It's small.
You're
It's
ruining
small.
my fun.
It's a 4 Mile Circus production that if they watch it will make money, and then we can use it to buy booze, and then we'll have fun. Or at least be asleep and have dreams.
They should watch it because it's good and then it'll entertain them, not just because of money. It's like you and your capitalist goals, man.
Yeah, you know
You
me.
and your like late stage capitalism, other buzzwords thing that I'm gonna admonish you for.
Yep. So because of all that, watch Small Talk.
Yes, watch Small Talk.
But you could watch it. A lot of people have watched it and left reviews. They seem to like it.
Reviews are good.
If you disagree and you think it's a bad movie, you better get on there and leave a negative review, because right now everybody's saying it's good. So you better have your say, make your voice heard.
Much as you should stop listening to this podcast, you should really, really just lambast that. Lambast is a word? Is that the word?
Yeah.
I used the right word.
Congratulations. There's a first time for everything.
One of those days. Just tear the movie apart.
Do whatever you want. Watch it. Honestly, I appreciate anybody taking time to engage with my work. I have problems with Small Talk. It's not a perfect movie. I do think that if somebody else had made the movie and I didn't know anything about it and stumbled upon it, I'd be like, holy shit, this movie's awesome. But I mean, then again, it came out of my fucking brain, so I would hope so. I would hope that that's my feeling towards it. But there's problems, and you don't have to agree. The ending is polarizing, for example.
Way to give away the ending.
No, I didn't give it away. I'm not...
Was it the magnets?
Yes. I was going to make an Insane Clown Posse joke, but I can't even do that because they're our comrades now.
Nobody's my comrade.
I stand with the Insane Clown Posse. I do. They shouldn't be on the gang list. The gang list should be handled completely differently. I wish this would open up a conversation about what these gang lists that law enforcement use, what they're about. But that's kind of a bit far afield for the Halloween episode of
why
the
did you start talking
GoreMileCircus.
about gang lists and cops?
Insane Clown Posse. Clowns are on my mind. American Horror Story.
Clowns are scary. Yeah.
ICP. The president.
He's a clown.
But not
a good clown.
Not a good clown.
Bad clown.
Bad clown.
Not even a good Pennywise clown.
No, not even a good
Just like
twisty.
a shitty clown.
He's like the shittiest clowns in the murder clown cult on American Horror Story, White Nonsense, which I really wish you would watch. I need people to talk to about it.
Sorry. I'm not that sorry.
But
he's it's that reminds me though that people, if they haven't watched it, I don't know where to watch it right now, but they should watch the Killer Clowns from Outer Space. That's pretty.
Oh yeah,
movie.
I'm sure it's streaming somewhere. We did a poll a while ago where we were asking, or maybe I just asked, maybe it wasn't a poll, about what's your favorite song from a horror movie, and somebody was like Killer Clowns from Outer Space, and I think they linked to the YouTube video of the theme song, which I remember very well from childhood.
I don't remember it very well, but that's a delightful movie.
You don't remember the theme song?
I've only seen it twice because I didn't get to see it until much later.
Well, you should watch it again, and listeners at home should watch it. And you should also watch Small Talk so you can see the polarizing ending that I was trying to talk about, which is not about magnets or the Insane Clown Posse. And is, for example, when Film Threat reviewed it, they said they really loved everything about the movie. Exact quote, I really loved everything about this movie, except the end. She didn't like the end. I don't know if she's wrong or not. I did the ending that I wanted to do at the time. I regret nothing.
Know.
Well, okay, so you like the end. Sean likes the end.
Which end?
What?
The end of the movie?
Yes.
Yeah.
That got confusing.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, listeners at home, it's okay if you don't like it, but don't you want to weigh in? Don't you want to?
Yeah, you should write a really long review.
You should.
Yeah.
About all your feelings about it. And then you can have hot water cooler conversation about like, oh my God, what did you think of the end of Small Talk? Like everybody's talking about on water coolers across the country right now.
You know what they should do?
What
you know
should
what they should do is they should get all their friends to watch it, like separately, watch it themselves. And then those who disagree about it should fight. It should be like a Small Talk fight club.
Yeah.
And whoever wins is right. And what they should do is they should video that and send it to us.
We'll judge. We'll judge.
Exactly. I'm not advocating violence. I'm just saying that you should do it.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I think that's a good thing to do. And then after
Please don't do that.
Yeah, no, don't.
I don't want to get arrested for inciting violence. Don't
That's
do that.
true.
I'm just
We're
kidding.
not.
I'm
Yeah,
teasing. I'm teasing. But
don't
really,
do it.
seriously, do it. But don't do it. But don't do it. No, I'm not kidding. Don't do it. But maybe do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
There are some films that were not made by people I know that I think people should watch this Halloween. Like Raw just came to Netflix.
Oh yeah. I still haven't watched that.
You should watch it. Raw was one of my favorite films of the year.
The cannibalism stuff. I'm not in the mood.
Okay, then.
It's
fine.
gross. It's gross.
Mr. Fancy Pants, Mr. I don't want to watch people eating each other.
It's just I do it so much myself that it's
nauseating.
It's just I'm gonna spend the whole time criticizing technique, and like that's not how you should be biting that person. That's a good way to get diseases. That's not safe. All of that stuff. There's a way to do it.
Well, we can't really talk about the film if you haven't seen it, but I liked it a lot, and I kept thinking about it for a while afterwards and liked it more and more the more I thought about it. I thought it was very good.
Okay.
I also liked the girl the girl with all of the gifts,
Like a Christmas movie?
like Christmas Zombies.
Oh, okay. That's why I haven't watched that one, because of zombies.
But it's a better zombie movie than a lot. I know you like but you like Return of the Living Dead style funny zombies.
Sort of, yeah.
80s zombies.
I like 80s zombies. I liked current zombie stuff before, but now there's just so much of it that I'm just like, okay, give me a werewolf, give me a vampire, give me the Frankenstein monster.
No, I agree. This is our exception to that. We've talked about this on the podcast before, and I know you have seen it, but I've been wanting to rewatch Green Room since it's not enough just looking out my window and seeing the world these days.
Yeah, I can't watch that right now.
Oh yeah, you can't watch that right now?
That's too real.
Yeah, Nazis are extra scary for you. You're the one they're coming for?
They're coming for everybody.
They're coming for some people a little more than others.
Yeah, obviously.
Anyway, part of how I like to cope with real life stress is to watch horror movies about things that scare me, or make horror movies about things that scare me. I make horror movies because they're therapeutic. I watch horror movies because they're therapeutic, but they're like fun therapy as opposed to boring therapy. So I'm going to watch Green Room again. It's a Jeremy Saulnier, or Saulnier. I'm not sure how you pronounce his last name. He's going to do the next season of True Detective. Did you hear?
I didn't watch the second one.
Yeah, neither did I. I didn't watch the first one either.
I watched the first one. It's all right.
Well, yeah.
I'm annoyed about it because now I can't make a certain script because everybody's just going to assume I pulled it from True Detective.
Does it have to do with the antlers?
No, it has to do with the King in Yellow stuff.
Okay, I did not watch season 1 of True Detective. I watched one episode and was like, I recognize there are things about this that are good. It's not for me. I just don't care about these dudes investigating the like naked dead sex workers. It's just not what I want to watch to unwind.
Yeah, that's fine.
So
there's a bunch of references to 19th century book of short stories that is actually sort of a foundational work of Cthulhu mythos stuff and is referenced a lot in Lovecraft and Robert E. Howard stuff. And it hasn't been directly referenced in much film or television in a long time, if ever. And I had a bunch of references in a script I have, and then I watched that, and I was like, well, no, I can't do that without people accusing me of the thing.
You know what, though?
Also, it's an expensive script. But
people are also going to forget about that. I mean, do your thing. People recycle everything all the time and do the same shit over and over and over again. People aren't like, why is American Horror Story doing clowns when it already did clowns? They're like, look at all the clowns. Clowns are the zeitgeist. So it's just...
that and Krampus, apparently. No mention of Krampus for so long, and then suddenly there's like 20 million Krampus movies. Yeah.
It's true. You haven't watched The Invitation yet, have you?
No.
The Invitation's a very good horror movie.
You know what I did watch?
What?
Nurse.
Tell us about Nurse.
It was not a good movie.
Why not?
Mostly because it didn't know what kind of movie it wanted to be.
Well, what is it? What is Nurse?
So it's a horror movie, sort of.
Like
ish.
recent?
Yes, it's a couple years old. It stars Paz De La Huerta.
Oh, okay.
I like her.
I like her too.
Yeah. And some other folks. And it kind of wants to be like, at first it's like, literally like the first scene is like, I'm a nurse and I go around killing cheating men. And I was like, okay, I'm down for this movie. I want to watch the movie about that.
Sure.
But then it becomes more about her being weirdly obsessed with a coworker. It gets like this sort of like stalkery, like I guess single white female. I haven't actually seen it, but that would be the reference that comes to my mind.
I mean,
like it becomes that, but she's not even really doing the like killing cheating men thing, but she uses that as an excuse. Like it doesn't know what kind of movie it wants to be. It's like, I'm like, I would have watched that first. I would have watched either of these movies, and they'd both be trashy, bad movies that would be enjoyable. But doing them together and not really, like starting as one and then very quickly becoming the other and confusing the hell out of me and then not doing either very well.
who directed? I'm looking up Nurse
I can't
right
remember
now.
his name, but he mostly does like TV stuff, which is fine. Not criticism there, but like it was a little all over the place.
It's on Shudder and iTunes.
That's where I watch. I watch on a Shudder.
This is a 59% on Rotten Tomatoes. I understand why you watched it based on the poster art.
The poster art is the best part of it.
It looks
It's very clever. Kathleen Turner is in it for like 2 seconds.
And Judd Nelson's apparently in it.
Yes, for a couple of scenes. That's right. He's in it.
It's Paz De La Huerta wearing Ricky's Halloween nurse costume, basically, which looks very good on her. It's like black or red. That's the color.
That's
the color's
white.
red.
It's white.
Well, no, I was going to say the red,
The stockings.
like latex, like stocking boots, things that come up to her thighs, and then a white, like latex nurse thing with a little nurse hat. And it's very kind of like, pin-up 40s type pose where she's riding a giant syringe.
Well, one of the things about the movie is
cool.
the movie is mostly an excuse for her not to wear clothes in different scenes in different situations.
Yeah.
Or to wear very little. And I'm like, I don't have a problem with that, but I would rather it was in a movie that I actually was enjoying.
Like The Limits of Control,
Yes.
where she's also
Mostly
naked
that.
a lot. But that's an awesome movie.
Oh, that's a delightful movie. Also, she wears the raincoat, which is kind of a cool. I always like the raincoat.
I liked
thing.
it too.
That was
It's
kinda
a see-through raincoat for listeners at home who have not watched The Limits of Control, which
they should.
they should. It's an excellent film.
It's got all sorts of people that you like in it.
Yes, it has a wonderful cast. It's Jim Jarmusch, who, as you know, is a favorite of mine, one of my very favorite directors. And it's a film a lot of people didn't like, and they're wrong.
They are incorrect. It's the first Jim Jarmusch movie I can remember watching.
And that's sad that you didn't watch any until that came out.
I just don't think nobody was like, hey, let's watch this movie by Jim Jarmusch.
No, there's no excuse. I cannot accept this. I can't accept this. I can't imagine why
Which
you
one
possibly.
should I have watched first?
The first one I ever watched was Down by Law.
Which one is that one?
That's John Lurie, Tom Waits, and Roberto Benigni in prison together
I haven't seen it.
in Florida,
I haven't seen it.
and they escape.
I haven't seen it.
It's
I've seen that.
one of my all-time favorite
I saw
movies.
Broken Flowers. I saw Ghost Dog.
You saw the Stooges doc.
I saw the Stooges doc. I saw.
Did you see Stranger Than Paradise ever?
I started watching it, and that's the New York one, right?
It's one of the New York ones.
They go on the road. What's the
Yeah.
what's the one where they're like in the apartment and stuff?
That's Stranger Than Paradise.
Okay,
They're
yeah, I didn't-
black and white. You're missing out. You should have.
Possibly.
I can give you a paper that I wrote when I was in film school about that movie.
Oh.
You sound really. Sean looks really excited. He's like practically drooling with excitement about getting to read my paper.
I'll share with you my paper about how do androids dream of electric sheep can be viewed through a critical lens through what's the movie Apocalypse? What's the book Apocalypse? Heart of Darkness. Looking at do androids dream of electric sheep, which Blade Runner is based on, through the lens of Heart of Darkness. If I could ever find that paper, which I don't know where the fuck it would be.
Cool. That sounds great.
Anyway, but Nurse
Yes.
is not good. I wish I would, like, it didn't even have, like, there was a couple of gory parts towards the end that were kind of fun, but I just kind of wish it was, like, one or the other. Or just, like, I don't know. Like, it starts as one thing, and I was like, okay, I'm down for this. Kill the guy. Cool.
I think for Halloween, I'm going to try to catch up on some of the Phantasm sequels I haven't seen.
I haven't been able to get myself into the Phantasm
Really?
series.
I would think you would like it. Because it's like weird and surrealistic and
I don't know why. I think it's when I was like really like interested. It's like, oh, I'd like to watch this. I couldn't find the first one. And I think like the only one I could find was, did they do a crossover with like, no, they didn't do like a crossover with like demonic toys. That's something else.
not that I know of, but it honestly may have happened. I'm not like a big Phantasm fangirl.
But like a lot of my like what I ended up getting into is what was available at the video store when I was a teenager. When I got my own card and I could pick up stuff on my own, and that was kind of limited.
Sure,
So.
but now you've got the internet, and I watched Phantasm like I don't know, like 6 months ago or something. The first one, I think I rented it, but it was like $2.
I think they're all on Shudder now.
Oh, cool.
I think I just haven't gotten around to it.
Shudder's got a lot of good stuff.
I really like the Child's Play series.
Yeah, Child's Play is good.
I need to watch the new one.
There's a couple I haven't seen. I haven't seen Curse of Chucky. I haven't seen Seed of Chucky, and I haven't seen Cult of Chucky.
Yeah, Cult of Chucky is the new one. I haven't seen that one yet. Curse of Chucky's okay. Seed of Chucky is okay.
So is Cult of Chucky about like Chucky is a cult leader, or is there a cult has sprung up? Because
I think it's like a cult that sprung up around him. I haven't seen it yet, so I don't know.
I'm interested in cults. See the current season.
It's a direct follow-up to Curse.
Okay, well, as I was saying, current season American Horror Story I like because it's about cults, and I think cults are an important thing for us to look at because our president follows cult logic. Basically, he works as a cult leader.
Not a very good one.
Good enough to get him elected to president and have how many millions of people who are like, I just believe what he says and everything. I have to hear it from him. He's the only one I can trust.
How many millions of people say that?
I don't know.
I don't think it's that many because he didn't win a popular vote. Like the votes that he got are honest. Okay, this is me giving people some credit, which is maybe not due.
Yeah, why are you doing a thing like that?
The amount of votes that he got does not convince me that most of those people weren't just like, I vote for Republicans and voted Republican.
Yeah, I'm not even saying that it's not that most of his voters didn't vote for him for that reason. It doesn't change the fact that there are people who are or at one point were true believers enough to get him into the White House.
Sure.
That makes him a more successful, like, who's a more successful cult leader than that? He doesn't, I mean, he's less successful in that I don't think he quite understands that he's a cult
Charles
leader.
Manson gets credit for longevity. He doesn't have a strict cult anymore, but he still has, like, adherents. He still has people who, like, are into his thing. He has a popular musician who named himself after him.
God, I wish you were watching American Horror Story because the episode this week, they had flashbacks to the 60s. They did not have Charles Manson. I think they're maybe going to, though. I think Evan Peters is going to play a bunch of different cult leaders as the season goes on. But in the last episode, he played Andy Warhol, which I was a little confused if they were arguing that Andy Warhol was a cult leader, which I think is interesting.
I think that's fair.
But I don't know if that's what they were doing. It was Lena Dunham was in it, playing Valerie Solanas, which would not be my choice. She wasn't bad.
Which one's Valerie Solanas again?
The woman who shot Andy Warhol.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Who wrote the Scum Manifesto. And it was this whole kind of alternate history thing where, at least in the telling of the character telling the story, after Valerie Solanas shot Andy Warhol, a bunch of her followers actually enacted, spoiler alert, but it's not a major spoiler. In my opinion, it doesn't ruin the episode or anything. It's a silly reveal that happens, which is that actually all of the Zodiac Killer killings were Valerie Solanas' followers who enacted Scum, the Society for Cutting Up Men, and went and like killed a bunch of people, but then this dude took credit for it and pretended, like, started sending the letters to the papers and stuff. And Valerie Solanas was in a mental hospital in a rage because like the plan she had masterminded was being co-opted by some guy who was taking credit for her work, which is interesting. I don't know how I feel about. I saw like a headline on Bustle or something about like American Horror Story has Valerie Solanas. Like Valerie Solanas is a real person with an unbelievable story that's now people can know about because of American Horror Story. And I'm like, but like the bulk of the stuff with her in that episode was complete fiction.
Yeah.
And I don't know how I feel about that. On the one hand, I do like to see, some women killing some men, although they were killing women too. And I'm not really behind the politics of this fictional version of scum that was depicted on the American Horror Story episode that I just watched last night. And I'm very excited to talk about, despite the fact that Sean's just staring at me like, Still haven't seen it, Nicole.
Just say your thing.
I have mixed feelings about it.
I do too.
And I would take Lily Taylor's portrayal of Valerie Solanas over Lena Dunham's.
I'll take Lily Taylor's portrayal of literally anybody over pretty much anybody playing anybody.
That's a fair point.
I love Lily Taylor.
She's wonderful.
Literally anybody.
She's wonderful. Have you ever seen that movie that she and Courtney Love are in where they like fall in love?
No.
It's an interesting movie.
I haven't seen that many Courtney Love movies.
I mean, well, I'm trying to help you.
Okay.
She's very good on film.
Lily Taylor's very good in everything.
Yeah, I know. I'm a big Lily
Courtney
Taylor
Love's
fan.
fine.
Courtney Love is good, I would say, actually, in the film she's in. I think she's often the best thing about a lot. Like, did you ever see that movie Beat, where she plays William Burroughs' wife?
No.
And Kiefer Sutherland plays William Burroughs?
This does not sound like something I want to watch.
I have it on VHS.
Okay.
It's a bad movie. She's very good in it. She is very good at taking problematic, underwritten roles and imbuing them with something that makes the character cohere. I thought she did the same thing in Man in the Moon, where I felt like Andy Kaufman's partner was not super well written, but she managed to like make...
That's one of the few ones I can think of that I remember her from, and I'm like, oh yeah, she's good. That movie also, I still have annoyance about how that movie was treated during like award season, where people are like, oh, it's best comedy. I'm like, it's not a funny movie.
Oh yeah,
it's a movie about a comedian, but it's a drama.
Yeah, no, that's just marketing because it's easier to compete in the comedy categories.
Yeah, but I was just annoyed by it because I was like, that was a good movie. That was a solid movie.
It was a drama. It was not
and it was
comedy.
decidedly a drama.
Absolutely. What was? Oh shit! I had something in mind. A horror Halloween thing that wasn't a horror movie, but was a comedy. But was, god damn it! What was it? What was it, Sean? I don't know. It's gone. Well, you can cut this part out of the podcast. Have fun.
Was it the thing I was talking about?
What were you talking about?
Well, I was talking about
Killer Clowns from Outer Space?
No, I was talking about. I haven't watched it, so I can't recommend it. But I quite like the filmmaker from Twitter and other things that she's done. And it's not a horror movie, but it's a horrifying prospect. Heather Fink, who directed the S.J. and Jenny pilot Irvin Teach Now, as well as
which was very good. I liked that a lot.
Yeah, it was quite good. It's quite funny. Just released her comedy feature on a bunch of platforms, including Amazon. I think you got to rent it on places. It's called Inside You. It's a body switching comedy, which caught my attention partly because we haven't really had a body switching comedy in a while. It's not really a thing we do as much anymore. Like, when was the last one?
The
Freaky
Friday reboot?
Yeah, that's it. We used to have them all the time.
There was a moment in the late 80s when we had them all the time. It's true.
I think it's arguable that Big is sort of a body switching.
Yeah.
You got Judge Reinhold and
vice versa.
Fred Savage, yeah.
Like Father, Like Son with Dudley Moore and Kirk Cameron.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
You didn't?
No.
18 Again with George Burns and some dude?
Yes, I'm aware of that one. I think I saw it when I was quite young and then never watched it again because, yeah.
Those are some body switching movies.
There's a lot of body switching
The
movies
original Freaky Friday?
The original Freaky Friday.
Which I watched a lot as a child. I watched all those movies a lot. Well,
oh yeah.
Vice versa more so than. I remember really looking forward to like Father Like Son and being like, this is kind of boring.
But body switching is kind of horrifying, so it's kind of like Halloween.
I agree.
Like Like, I don't know what I would if I was in somebody else's body, I would be very uncomfortable. I'd be very uncomfortable. I don't know what their wash schedule is. I don't know like what they do. What's their stuff? How am I going to keep this up? I don't know.
I don't like thinking about it.
I barely know how to put my own clothes on.
You know what's another comedy movie that's also appropriate for Halloween that I also like to talk about that you also haven't seen? The director's cut of Little Shop of Horrors.
No, I haven't seen the director's cut, no.
Yeah, Little Shop of Horrors is one of my all-time favorite films.
It was one of mine when I was a kid, and then I haven't really watched it since.
It's still one of mine. I think about getting a Little Shop of Horrors themed tattoo a lot. That's a fact about me. And
what would the tattoo be?
Audrey 2, in some capacity.
Okay.
An illustration of Audrey 2.
Like eating somebody?
Probably not.
Or just like hungry?
Just hanging out.
Me?
Hanging out.
Just get it right here on your face and have Audrey 2's mouth be your mouth and just have feed me on the other cheek.
That's a great idea.
And there you go. That's a functional tattoo.
Done and done.
Go to the restaurant, point at your cheek, it says feed me, you're ready to go.
Before we wrap things up, I just want to invite viewers, if any of you have seen the director's cut of Little Shop of Horrors, I would like to talk to other people about it because I have a lot of feelings. One of my feelings is sadness. When I watched the director's cut, I got upset. I got emotional. It's very different from the movie that I came to know and love as a child. And I felt conflicted because there was this whole amazing sequence where a bunch of Audrey 2 plants like eat New York City. And it's like a marvel of puppetry. It's, the kind of glorious chaos that can be cathartic and pleasurable, but it was right after you see all your beloved characters die. And a part of me wanted, I'm the kind of dick who always wants to be like, oh, they shouldn't have changed it because the focus audiences didn't like it. Because, they showed this to audiences and they were like, what the fuck is this? We really liked the movie up until everybody died and then we hated it. And I always want to be like, fuck them, make the difficult movie that makes people upset, because that's what I like to do as a director. So I empathized with Frank Oz wanting to end the movie this way. But it's also like, as I think Frank Oz, somebody in the behind the scenes pointed out, like the musical that Little Shop of Horrors is based on, which is, of course, based on the film, the old black and white film, but then they did a musical. And both of those end with everybody dying. But when everybody dies in a musical, then they all come out for curtain call and give a bow, and the audience can like applaud and cheer and stand up and see the person dressed in their costume again and see that they're still alive and pull away the curtain and the artifice is revealed and all that. And it's a little bit less disturbing than when in a movie, they're just dead. You can show them again in the closing credits with some video when you do the like, remember all the fun times we just had watching this 90-minute movie thing over the credits, but it doesn't quite have the same impact as being in the same room with an actually alive actor who has not been eaten by a plant.
Bullshit. They don't actually get eaten by plants.
Well, we can save that for our next
bullshit.
movie.
I'm just saying, realism.
Do we have any games? Any realistic games?
Oh, do you want to play a game?
Yeah, I think we should probably play a game.
All right, hold on.
I can talk about the Little Shop of Horrors director's cut and American Horror Story some more while Sean looks up his games. I have a lot of feelings about the Little Shop of Horrors, in part because I watched that movie over and over and over and over again as a child. And when I watched the director's cut, I was like, if I watched this, I would probably watch this once because it's so depressing and sad. That, the other one ends with like a little bit of a hint that maybe like everything's not okay and, that we're going to have to fight another day and all that. But it doesn't end with death and there's some hope. It's
okay.
like game time.
Yeah, you want to play a game?
Yeah, let's do it.
You want to play I just made this up off the top of my head. This is the Little Shop of Horrors, the original movie, the 1960 movie, trivia.
Great.
So we'll learn some things.
Cool.
What was the budget for the original Little Shop of Horrors? Was it $100,000? $17.50.
Closer.
$22,500.
Mm-hmm.
Or $30,000.
$22,000 or $30,000,
Yeah.
and then after that it's $17.99,
And then
and
50 cents,
$100,000.
and $100,000.
It's not $100,000. I'm gonna say $22,000.
It is 22,000. See, this is what happens when I don't have a game ready. Is we're just gonna have to.
Well, also this is what happens when it's Little Shop of Horrors trivia.
It's true. It's true. How long was the shooting schedule for the movie? Was it 1 week? 2 days? 3 days? 2.5 days?
3 days.
2.5 days.
Oh. I should have known when it was 2. I knew it was only a couple days because that's like a famous thing about it. I was going to guess 4 days though, which was wrong.
Well,
I knew it was shot like super fast.
Right. This I got a backup thing here. Hold on.
Cool.
Hold on. All right. So the film was directed by Roger Corman.
It was.
It was indeed. And hold on. He also is had the distinction of being the producer for I'm sorry. Let me start that again. So Roger Corman directed Little Shop of Horrors.
He did.
He produced a lot of movies.
He did.
Which frequently remade at this point. Marvel movie did he produce in the 90s?
It's not a multiple choice?
Okay, you're right. Is it Spider-Man? Is it Blade? Is it the Fantastic Four? Or is it X-Men?
Fantastic Four.
It's Fantastic Four.
That was that failure one.
Yeah, you can't even see that. Like, you have to find bootlegs online that were floating around Comic-Cons for years. That was a terrible set of games. I just making that up.
I loved it. I crushed it. I crushed Little Shop of Horrors trivia. So I mean, in summation, because that's what we do now apparently. Happy Halloween. Enjoy your Halloween. Be safe. Put on some sort of reflective tape or something if you go out trick-or-treating after dark.
I don't care if you're safe.
Inspect your candy for razor blades and poison.
No, we're not telling them that because that is just furthering an urban legend bullshit thing. That is not a thing. I'm mad about that. That ruined Halloween when I was a kid and people started going to malls instead of neighborhoods. That is not a thing. The only time that it's ever happened.
I didn't go to the mall instead of the neighborhood. I still went
to the neighborhood, but people stopped doing it in neighborhoods in my hometown as I got older.
Oh, not in mine.
Well, they
Ithaca,
did in
New
mine.
York, we were doing it. We were giving out candy.
I mean, people were still doing it, but it became like a thing. Everybody's like, they're X-raying candy, and it's this fear-mongering
Okay,
thing.
so don't talk about... Yes, I know it's an urban legend. I was saying it in a lighthearted way, and we've all learned something today. Sean is very bitter about this urban legend because it ruined Halloween for him.
Well, it's because the only time it's ever happened is when people do it to their own kids because it's an urban legend. So it's actually killed children. Or at least severely injured them.
Well, on that exciting note, watch Small Talk on Amazon Prime. You can also rent it if you don't have Amazon Prime. If you're not a subscriber, you can rent it. You can also watch it on Seed and Spark or go to 4milecircus.com/store and watch that. Watch out for us at the Axe Wound Film Festival in November in Brattleboro, Vermont, November 17th to the 19th, where you can watch our film Mare. Also keep an eye out for that at the Portland Extreme Film Festival and Zedfest. And
take candy from strangers.
Where can they find us online?
4milecircus.com. Facebook is 4milecircus. Twitter is 4milecircus. And Instagram is 4milecircus.
You can tweet at me at Nicole W. Solomon if you want to talk about the director's cut of Little Shop of Horrors or the current season of American Horror Story. And you can tweet at Sean at Uncle Sean. That's Sean spelled like scene, S-E-A-N. If you want to talk about his favorite movie, Nurse.
Or if you have candy.
Or if you have a link to the Killer Clowns from Outer Space song, which you should really remember.
I want candy.
Bye.
If you like what you heard, please subscribe to us on iTunes, SoundCloud, or your platform of choice. Please visit us at 4milecircus.com to learn about our other projects and services, and be sure to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at 4milecircus.